I wonder if Monsieur Zachary is seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his room.
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
Whatever you need.
I'm sorry if dealing with the Major's body brought up any familiar emotions.
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Oh. Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
After speaking with Monsieur Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be a reconciliation. There's something about Monsieur Zacharias' story that is leaving out, though. The death of his friends and comrades weighed heavy on him. Wait. Your brother was talking with the Comtesse while in the salon. I was not aware they were so close.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold a conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Hagen?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur. Ah.
And he also have first aid kit here in his room. Window?
Oh.
Yeah. A dagger? An
Oh.
ornamental dagger from Zacharias' time in the war. Fireplace, cigarette butts. The room is littered with mass cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. That's it. Cool.
Always got time for my favorite detective.
There's a particular item I found while conducting my research.
The dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it. After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
We can make one connection. Well, let's do that. Whoa, where do I start? So many new things. Wolf.
I cannot see the logic in this. Order and method.
Well, honestly,
that is the way.
I don't even know where to start, so I'm just clicking until I get hint. These two.
The pieces of the puzzle
Well, I
are
was close.
finally come.
The Demir brothers' estranged relationship is enough to suggest they would not have worked together. Okay. Monsieur Becker's room. Without him in here, I'm free to search in it. Search it. Search it. And what's there to find? The same bed? Photograph? With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention.
Huh.
Plant.
Aha.
It seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind, unsuccessfully though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of man's defiance. Your man, you are in a position to bring all of this to an end. All we ask is what we deserve. If you do not retract your man, there will be men with equal force, too forceful. Your weapons may beat our bodies, but they will not bruise our hearts, spirits. They are the men that have built our great nation, country, and will continue to. Money will not save your soul. Yeah. Pretty bad. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with, who I assume, Ernesto. Curious. We don't get to read that. Well, that's it. Can we make a connection? Yes, we can. So, scrapped paper. Hugo's notebook. Hugo's family photo.
Things are beginning to become clear.
In Jackie's opinion, she doesn't value Hugo particularly high. Who would he collaborate with anyone else, I wonder? Jackie unlikely to collaborate with Hugo. Another connection we can make.
I must act on thought and
Huh.
Is there something
No?
I am... I should not be surprised by my...
Hugo and Ernesto confirm each other's alibi. It's possible that they may have colluded to murder the Major. Can I find anything to support this? Hugo may collude with Ernesto. The business-minded Monsieur da Silva rule.
Monsieur da Silva, I am sure you understand the necessity for this type of search.
Not really, Detective. Your speech was rather spirited, but it did not give me much faith in your investigation.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my face by one of those I suspect of a crime before.
Well, if you wish to prove me wrong, you should hurry up and find Felix's killer.
And I hope, with your help, monsieur, I shall.
Madame Van den Bosch spoke of your work with her late husband.
Yes, I helped him invest some money. Unfortunately, he was not the businessman he thought he was.
Madame Van den Bosch had a very similar view. At least he could have taken solace that you are both in the same position.
I think you're confused, Detective. It was Edwin that lost his fortune, not I.
Forgive my naivete. If you were helping him make viable investments, would you not have seen the same opportunity for yourself?
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit margins. He was bound to fail.
The business declared bankruptcy.
It did, until it was purchased for a fraction of its worth and made the new owner a small fortune.
I'm beginning to see Monsieur da Silva more ruthless side. It sounds as though the Viscount was trying to at least make a positive charge, but perhaps he was missing Monsieur da Silva cutthroat edge. What we spoke of last night regarding Madame Van den Bosch?
Everything that I want to say on that matter has already been said.
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is, was the late Viscount aware of your feelings towards his wife?
Excuse me, Detective, but you have crossed the line.
Crossed the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you'll be able to swoop in and impress a certain target of your affections.
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur. While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
Monsieur da Silva's actions are not a criminal offense, but if they are a penalty for deception and deceit, he would surely receive a life sentence. If he had gone to such length before, what could stop him from committing a similar act again, this time to the Major? I know you have worked with the Major, but what do you know of his finances?
He didn't have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
Surprised in what way?
Well, considering it wasn't that long ago he came to me asking about work, I didn't think he was in such good financial shape.
You offered him a position?
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. That's when he began talking about what else he could do for me.
The Major worked security for your factories.
If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be so reckless.
It was a considerable amount you paid him?
There's no need to divulge amounts, but it was certainly more than was expected.
One would expect a business of Monsieur da Silva's caliber to have agreed a price for the Major services. Why would he allow the Major to barter more? Tell me about the Major's security team.
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort. He said he had worked with them all in the army as their superior officer. They were men that could be trusted.
But that was not the case?
I had not even met them before they arrived on site. They brought their own equipment. They looked like they knew what they were doing.
And this equipment, it included the weapons that injured and killed the workers?
It was not much of a choice, Detective. I said they didn't need them, but Felix said it was essential. He said he knew better.
The moments in your Monsieur talks, the shadier his dealings with the Major become. It's beginning to sound as though the riots were no accident.
That is all for now.
Doesn't it make sense to click on this standard items? I don't think so, right? A razor-sharp letter opener, almost brand new, lies discarded on the floor. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. The agreement is governed by the laws of the Kingdom of Belgium. Both parties agreed to the following. Current workers' strike shall cease in all manners and forms. Factory floor machine operators and supervisors shall return to their positions immediately. Terms of the above contract shall be implemented and relevant action taken directly. Signed, Mr. Ernesto da Silva, factory owner and employer Ernesto da Silva, Hugo Becker's union leader. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at your stuff. Letter. A letter stating the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Monsieur da Silva, at first you may question the nature of this letter, but by its conclusion you will know that what you have fought so hard to keep hidden could be far from it. You have spent years feeding off of the hard-working backs of others and offering nothing in return. Your workers continue to take their lives into their hands, day after day, with your shabby, damaged and dangerous machines, for a fraction of what they deserve. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, it is your workers that must pay the price. The mistreatment and pain you have caused does not only reside in the factories that you own, but the house that you live in. You do not value the lives of those who allow you to live the opulent life that you do, and will not allow that to continue. I can no longer sit back and watch as you disregard any sense of integrity or morality and continue to remain on your self-made pedestal, lording over those that deserve so much more. It is time you paid the price for your crimes, and the cost is 5,000 francs. It is a small price to pay for my silence, for if you do not receive it before Friday, it will not be cash you are paying, but rather years behind bars. Bring the money into a small brown parcel addressed to Monsieur Cordier to the post office on Rue des Entrepreneurs. Give it to the cashier and leave. If you do as requested, you will not hear from me again, and you might continue your life of luxury. It is obvious you do not value others' lives, but I urge you to consider what is yours is worth. Interesting, like the person knows the secret. Oh, you're gonna be behind the bars, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison, but if you're gonna pay me 5,000, it's gonna be enough, and I'll let you live your life despite the crimes that you have committed. Interesting position. Okay.
What?
Let's ask her first and then let's push. Were you expecting some correspondence this weekend?
Excuse me? Detective, I think you are beginning to lose your mind.
I do not think it is unreasonable to question why you would feel the need to bring a letter opener with you.
Really, Detective? If I had stabbed a man with it, do you really think I would have left it lying out in my room?
Monsieur da Silva is correct. It was a stretch to believe someone would be so reckless. The murder weapon remains somewhere in the house, though. Monsieur Demire invited Monsieur Beckers so that you two might sit down and find some common ground.
Yes, and no one asked them to.
But surely it is beneficial to both parties. Your profits must have been affected.
There are barely any profits to speak of.
Why have those talks not taken place and a deal arranged?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offered no counter-offer. The ball is in his court, detective.
Although it is Monsieur da Silva's wages and treatment of his staff that is in question, it sounds as though he is at least trying to resolve the issue, surprising unlike Monsieur Beckers. Bush and Weinester hit the letter.
I have spoken of a potential blackmail ring, and yet you still kept your letter to yourself.
It is none of your business, and it is nothing more than a cheap trick to have me admit something that is not true.
If that were the case, it would be strange for you to have kept the letter and brought it with you, would it not?
Your persistence is a trait I do not enjoy.
Monsieur da Silva has remained blunt, if not curt with the responses to my questions. Perhaps it would be best to act in a courteous and empathetic manner to that he may be forthcoming with the truth of his blackmail letter and its content, straightforward, authoritative. Straightforward? There must be a reason you thought justified hiding it.
No reason, detective. Merely saving you from wasting your time.
I will be the judge of that. I would like to know about any and all evidence that may help my investigation. I trust there is nothing else you deem a waste of my time.
Of course not, officer. It's not as though you think I'm harboring some illicit secret. The letter was a pathetic attempt to intimidate me. Nothing more.
Condemning concerned. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, you do not have valued the lives of the concerned.
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
That suggests there are some that you do not respect.
Yes, well, why should I praise someone for doing a poor job? You make me sound like some monster.
Monsieur, the letter does not only discuss your questionable business dealings, but also cases of abuse against your staff, both accusations that must be taken very seriously.
Detective, there is a difference between telling a member of my staff what to do and abuse.
And it is you that decides where that line is drawn?
In my house? Yes, it is.
Monsieur does not like being pressed on the subject of how he treats his staff. If he had nothing to hide, there should be no need for such a reaction. Do you have any ideas as to which staff member may have expressed their abuse?
Please stop calling it that. I treat all my servants exactly how I always have, and no one has complained before.
Maybe this is a new maid?
That does not mean your behavior is appropriate.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are gone. You would be surprised how many staff expect an easy ride.
I did not expect Monsieur to treat his staff the same as his friends, but I also did not expect him to treat them like stray dogs.
Is there a specific member of staff that may have expected such a ride?
There is one girl, a new maid. I didn't expect great things from her, but Comtesse de Vos promised me she could do what was required.
There must be the young girl that the Comtesse spoke of. Perhaps the position she's finding for these girls are not the best fit.
That is all for now.
Yeah, we can make here one connection, and next. Ernesto employed a servant from the women's shelter. Well, we knew that.
Come, my little grey cells. I must take a different approach if I am to
Partially signed contract?
Magnifique.
Ah. I'm doubtful this duo would collaborate. Would Ernesto deal with another member of the house, perhaps some who never confirmed his alibi? Hugo and Ernesto seem unlikely to collude. And another connection. Well, honestly, I think...
Order and method. That is... I must take a different approach if I am to... I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Ernesto doesn't strike me as a sort of man that would ask for help, no matter how important. Ernesto employed a servant girl from a wound shelter. Ernesto may have asked Margot for help. Talk to Ernesto. Okay, and here we can make one connection. Inge got the job from Margot. Case of blackmail. How?
Come, my little grey cells. We must... I cannot see the logic in this.